Hey everybody, this is Natasha from Caracas, and you're listening to the Level Up with Natasha podcast, the show that sheds light on mental health and well-being for people who are unafraid of digging a little deeper. So today we're talking about entrepreneurship versus motherhood with Brianna Meighan from Panama, an American-Panamanian TV personality, model, best-selling author, and influencer. We'll discuss everything there is to know about how to juggle being an entrepreneur and being a mom. This podcast is for my English-speaking friends. Welcome to Level Up, Brianna. To all my followers, please meet Brianna. Born in Virginia and raised in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, Brianna calls home the tropical paradise, Panama. In early 2003, she was discovered by Wilhelmina model agent Raul Cubilla in Panama City, Panama. Shortly after, Meighan was signed by one of the world's most prestigious modeling agencies, Wilhelmina. She was soon part of advertising and fashion campaigns for top brands, Jimmy Choo, Diesel, Trump International, Jordache, a cover girl gracing the fronts of dozens of magazines and landing a part in major blockbuster movies, James Bond, Quantum of Solace, and Hands of Stone. She graduated from Sweetbriar College with a degree in international affairs in 2005. Brianna was cast as the host of Hot Properties, the ultra-popular travel series on the E! Entertainment Television, and throughout her career has hosted nearly a dozen shows for major international networks. In early 2012, Brianna Meighan and her husband, John Hanna, welcomed the arrival of their first child in an intimate home water birth at the couple's residence in Panama. In 2013, Brianna Meighan added the title Best-Selling Author to her resume when her travel book, How to Fly with a Baby, Your Mile-High Guide to Air Travel with an Infant, became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. In mid-2014, Brianna welcomed the arrival of her second child in another home water birth in Panama. Thank you for being here, Brianna. How are you? How are you doing?
Thank you, Natasha. I'm fantastic. Thank you. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that our calendars finally aligned and we could be here and have this conversation together, which I think is very important, and our followers definitely are going to be very interested in what you have to say, because like I said in the introduction, today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and motherhood, but also in general being working mother, in general. So let's just jump right in, okay? So
Totally.
Tell us a bit about your experience after having your two sons and going back to work. Like, did you take a maternity leave? Did you wait for them to reach a certain age before going back to work?
So what my process looked like, I've been a workaholic my entire life. I started working in the movie industry at 14 years old, and when I filmed my first movie, Patch Adams, with Robin Williams. And then after that, I kind of just fell in love with the idea that I could produce my own income and be financially independent, even as a young child, looking back, an early teenager. And so I've always been a workaholic. When I decided, I got married very young. I got married at 22. I decided I was yeah, I know. And I decided that I wanted to wait until I wanted my 20s to be for me and for working. I was just starting out on entertainment television. It was a dream job. I had worked in TV for several other networks for several years. And when I landed E, I said, wow, this is super cool. This is very special. And I really want to take advantage of this time. And so I'm going to allocate my 20s to be for me and for work and pursuing some of my professional goals and careers. And then I'll let my 30s be for having babies and being a mom. And I'm kind of one of those types, Natasha, that's like, I'm all in. Like I go very intense into anything that I end up pursuing. And so when I wanted to work, it was like work 7 days a week, like 14-hour days. And then the same thing happened when I decided, okay, I'm gonna go for the mom thing now, and we're gonna get into this. And I decided I'm gonna step away from TV. I'm gonna completely pull back from all of my work, everything on camera, modeling, TV, it just everything. And I'm going to dedicate to my babies in this new role as being a mom. And so when I did that, so I had my son, my first son in 2012. And then in about 27 months later is when I had my second son in 2014. And I breastfed both of them. I fed on demand. I breastfed. Yes, I had home water births with both of them. I co-slept with both of them. I really did everything as like non-traditional or like not by the book as you could possibly imagine. And of course, I raised a lot of eyebrows from everyone from family members to dear girlfriends. And then, people that you don't even care about who want to comment on the decisions you make as far as parenting goes.
Of course.
So yeah, there's always those people.
There's always, yeah.
Totally. And so then it was about, by the time my second son was 2 years old, that I breastfed both babies for 2 years, again, on demand. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. And then it was like something switched in my head or my body, Natasha. And I had this craving. I was like, I am ready to go to work. And literally my baby was like on the verge of turning 25 months old. And I was like, we'll go for one more month of breastfeeding. And he was like this kind of baby that was like, oh, I could breastfeed until I'm 12 years old. Like, let's never end this. Whereas my first one was like, yeah, I'm busy over this whole breastfeeding thing. Like, get it out of my mouth, mama. So it was really easy to wean and kind of like cut him off at 24 months. But the second one was like, no, we can just continue this forever and ever. So I let him go until 25 months. And then I was like, because I kind of thought in my mind, this would most likely, I'll probably only have 2 kids. And so, enjoy and cherish these moments and, because it's all very limited and it does end. And then you can go back to work and you can work for the rest of your life. And that was kind of like, what I said to myself. Well, anyways, at 25 months, yes, I weaned the baby. That was all done and over with. And I was like, it was like night to day, or however they say that. And I was ready to go back to work. And I did. I had this calling where I wanted to put on a dress again. I wanted to wear blazers. I wanted to put on my stiletto heels. I wanted to get dressed up and do my hair every day. I wanted to go to an office. I had friends, even my sister was like, well, maybe just, you've got 5 bedrooms. Why don't you just do a home office? And I was like, no. I need to go. I need to get an office. Yeah. I need to be downtown. And so I did that. I really kind of like let myself, I went for all the cravings and I fulfilled all of them. And I had the corner office, gorgeous office, corner office on the 42nd floor of the like poshest office building above Ferrari dealership in downtown Panama City, all these gorgeous views of the Pacific Ocean, the Panama Canal. And I went there every day and I loved it. I loved being able to get out of the house. I loved getting ready in the morning. I loved getting my suit on, my everything, and kissing my babies goodbye. Yes, they were at home with their nannies. My husband, he's an attorney. He would go to his office and I would come home at 5 o'clock, so happy to then take off the dress clothes and the heels and get into my yoga pants or whatever I wear and grab my babies and snuggle with them and do all of that. So that's basically, I guess you could say I took a maternity leave because I really did. I had nothing to do with work.
You went all in being a mom.
I went all in. And then it was like, after 24 months, when the littlest one was ready to be weaned at 24 months, I was like, I'm back. And so that's it's kind of what my process looked like.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing it with us, really. And I have a question. What do you think about this quote that I read, which says, we expect women to work like they don't have children and raise children as if they don't work?
Yeah, okay. So I have a few thoughts on that. I think in general, moms, women in society, we have very unrealistic expectations on women in
Yeah,
general. I think a lot of times, and we do it to ourselves too.
exactly.
We
So
really do.
it's like
And
men and it's woman driven, like the unexpected realities, right? And like I feel like it comes from both.
absolutely. No, I really do. I'm not gonna, I don't think it's only, you can't say, oh, it's only men that do it to us, or it's only women who've never had babies that do it to us. No, we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we kind of drive ourselves into this scary little hole, down that scary little dark rabbit hole. And then we find ourselves there and we're like, oh crap, how do we get out now? And it becomes really, really, it becomes bad. One thing I feel is that it, the more you think about something, the more you're going to bring about something. Okay. So like if you constantly think about, oh, am I being bullied? Am I being mom shamed? You're going to bring more of that to you. I really do believe our thoughts create things, and they kind of set us up for what our reality is going to look like.
And that's all
Um,
we can see also. So we're more like we will interpret everything as in like that as well.
from that lens.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so I think one thing is, if you're working in an environment with other people. Now, I've been very fortunate because when I went back to the office place, to the workplace after I had my babies, I mean, I was a founder. And so I didn't have partners at that moment in time. I didn't have really colleagues, to be honest, that were working in a traditional office setting. I worked alone. Yes, I had assistants, I had other people, but it wasn't in a equal kind of colleague type scenario, or like partners at all. And so it would have been inappropriate, I think, just given the hierarchy of the way everything was structured in those days, for anyone to try to make me feel bad about any of the choices I made. Another thing is, again, about the thoughts and bringing about, what your thoughts are. I don't allow myself to go to certain places with my thoughts. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a huge proponent for my daily meditation, is because that my daily meditation gives me the tools that allow me to create healthy boundaries with my thoughts, so that my thoughts don't control me. Because I see it like that. Either you're going to control your thoughts, or your thoughts are going to control you.
Yeah.
So meditation gives me the tools that I need, that basically set me up for a day of success, because inevitably we're going to confront complicated issues, or naysayers, or people who want to be bullies, or somebody's going to say something always that's going to make us, feel like poo poo caca. And you got to know how to combat that. And so,
Yeah.
that's just kind of one of the things that I do. But I think really, truly, at the end of the day, there are so many ways, Natasha, to raise a family and to have kids. There's no one that can say that, oh, because you're a mom and you went back to the office, you're screwing up your kids, or they're not going to be happy, or they're missing out, or you're missing out, or you're giving up. No, there's that's wrong. That's not cool. And I think anything around, I don't know if that falls into the category of mom shaming or bullying. I think there's definitely some overlapping there, but I don't think that's something that we as people, we just need to just kind of develop and go, no, I don't have
Yeah.
a place for this. And so I'm going to pay it no attention, and I'm just going to find a way to become resilient if I feel like someone's coming at me with that energy. And again, that's something that we as individuals have to work on and learn how to just understand. Don't, have grace with yourself. We all have 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Um, and hey, God made, if you subscribe to the whole, Judeo-Christian kind of scene, God made the earth or the whole universe in 6 days, rested on his seventh. He didn't do it all in one day, and we don't need to try to do that either.
Yeah.
And so have grace with yourself, go easy on yourself, realize, hey, this is new. We're all figuring this out as we go, and read as many books on how to have babies or raise happy kids or blah, blah, blah as you want. But, there's no one way to skin a cat. And just because some of us choose to travel or go, socialize in the evening with friends or hire nannies or take our kids to daycare or leave them with our grandparents, whatever, do you.
Exactly.
We can only control the inputs. We can't control the outputs. So
Exactly.
do you.
Exactly. Well, actually, I had an interesting conversation with a friend and my sister-in-law, and that's when I realized, I think at the end of the day, we all just do what we think is best for us and our family and our kids. And it's like you said, like there's not just one way to raise children or to have a family. And in that conversation, what was interesting was that my friend said that after she had kids, it was difficult for her to go back to work. And she herself is actually mom shaming herself and making herself feel bad and being at work and not with her kids. And with my sister-in-law, it was the other way around. She said, I cannot be a good mother if I don't work. Like if I'm at home all day with my kids and do not work, I don't feel like I'm being as an effective mom as when I go out and come back, and then I can, be with them and spend quality time with them and be a better mom and be a better person. And so at the end of the day, I don't think there's this one size fits all. And I think often the pressure comes from ourselves, but then there's also pressure from outsiders as well. Like you said, everybody's always, first to give advice and to mom shame and to have an opinion about something they're not even asked about. So it's like you said, I think at the end, you have to find like the peace within yourself. And you found meditation, which helps you get through the day. Other people find maybe sports or, read a good book or, do what they can do to just keep things in place, no? And keep the peace of mind in that sense. So definitely. And thank you so much for sharing your experience as well, because I can imagine that you've been mom shamed. You've seen it all as well.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Like I have girlfriends, sister-in-laws, everything, that have experienced some level or degree of the mom shaming, whether it's personally inflicted, like you said, or it comes from a loved one who is really only trying to be helpful, but it's coming across very negatively and having, negative effects on their self-talk. I think either way, I think mothers feel judged harshly. Some of us maybe more harshly than others, whether or not we do something or don't do something.
Yeah.
There's a certain degree of judging that takes place. And I don't know if that's anything new or if that's anything that's ever going away, or if that's as old as time itself.
Probably part of the responsibility of having a child to care for, I guess.
Yeah. And I know that ultimately the reason why it's so bad is because it becomes overwhelming, and it really does start to kind of crack away at the way we see ourselves, and it makes us second or doubt in the way, maybe I am being a crappy mom. Maybe I shouldn't be going to work. Maybe I shouldn't be so happy to wake up in the morning, put on my gorgeous Jimmy Choo heels and go to the office and be so happy to kiss my baby goodbye. I'm not going to see you until 4:30. Maybe I should feel crappier about that. And I don't think that's okay. It shouldn't be that way. I really think, again, going back to what I said, there is no one way to raise a happy family. And I think we as women, we have to also understand that there's so many more facets to us and to our soul and what our soul desires are for this incarnation in this lifetime, other than just being wives or partners or mothers. Or professional, whatever I accomplished and check the box doing whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're all these things. And I know I personally have a long list of to do or personal accomplishments I would like to, have a kick at the can at and try to pursue. I mean, I run marathons. I'm a semester and a half away from finishing law school.
It's amazing.
I'm still building my business, and I'm a mother of two small children, 8 and 10 years old. I get it. And that it's just the beginning of a long list of what I have planned for myself. Do I linger or wallow in the self-criticizing talk? No, I pay it no attention. I really don't. Do I allow other people, if they make comments, be my guest, comment all day long on it. It makes no difference to myself because I'm so sure and confident in who I am. And I know that even if I'm gone all day long to the office, working my butt off, accomplishing my goals, and I know that I'm still an awesome mom. I know that if I decide to go to the Middle East for a week and a half without my kids and run my 5th marathon, that when I get back, that all of this, it does not change who I am at my core as a mother. And it does not change them and their childhood experience if I leave for a week and a half to go pursue one of my goals. I think if anything, I am setting my kids up to know what a badass woman looks like, so that me as a mother of sons, I hope one day they can look for a woman, a partner in their future life and go, I know what it can be. And she's out there. And also so that they, as the husbands or fathers that they will one day be, they will know how sometimes you need to sit back and you need to sit down and let her go out there and spread her wings open and pursue her dreams professionally and pursue her goals that she has set as a soul in this life. And I think that's important. I see it as like, it's kind of like, what is my ultimate goal as a mom is to become an awesome, badass ancestor, And
Yeah.
I want my kids my boys I want to be able to raise them into awesome, respectful guys,
Yeah.
who know how to treat a woman right, or, whoever they ultimately choose as their life partner one day. And if they become parents and bring in children into this world, that they understand it's not just about them, and not to have unrealistic false expectations, and not to overly expect something archaic caveman type expectations from their future partners one day. And understand sometimes, guess what, guys? You have to sit back and take care of the kids for a week and a half because mom needs to go to the Middle East and run her 5th marathon. And that's okay.
Amazing.
And
You're an
everyone's
inspiration. Amen to
under
that,
love.
Brianna.
Oh
That's
my
amazing.
God. Thank you,
That's
Shelby.
amazing. And just quickly before we finish, what advice would you give a mom who's looking to start her own business?
Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it. I think I say totally go for
It's
it.
like go for it, right? Like let's
Yes,
start that. Like get out of your head and just do it,
totally. Oh
right?
my
Like
gosh. If
there's
there
no
was
right moment as the present moment. Just go for it.
go for it. Okay,
Yeah.
if there were 2 words I could sum it up with, it would be take action. And
Mhm.
if there were a quote that I could really apply to that, it would be either day one or one day. You decide.
Yeah.
And I live by both of those so much. And those are like 2 constant reminders that I even have to like put on a sticky note in front of me, just to
On
keep
your
me.
mirror, on your bathroom mirror.
Literally
Yeah.
on my mirror. I have them behind me on the wall. I have them stuck all over my laptop, just like whatever it takes. You
Because
have
you're
to be
not a
your
tattoo person, you'd have it tattooed otherwise, right?
if I had a tattoo, it would be right
Exactly.
here on my wrist, so I couldn't get away from it. Exactly. And you just kind of have to be your own cheerleader, your own coach. No one else is going to do it for you, so you better get good at being your own coach and your own cheerleader.
Definitely.
And yeah, get out of your head. Do whatever you need to do to get out of your head. If you need to, I love listening to podcasts. I fall off my wagon sometimes, Natasha. And I think that's super, again, have grace with yourself. You're not going to be operating at 110% maximum output all of the time. It's impossible for all of us. I have moments, I do a lot, I am accomplishing a lot, and I have a lot more to, on that list, but I don't even get it all done sometimes. But what I do is I try to look at my little go-to list of what inspires me. And when I feel like I'm like, okay, it's been about 2 days and I'm still lagging, or I still haven't really been working up to par maximum output, I go to my little go-to list of inspiration. And one of those things are podcasts, Natasha. I love my podcast, and I listen to them while I do my weights, or I'm like, messing around my office, throwing out the garbage, tidying up in here before I get working, or after I've dropped off the kids at school, I throw on a podcast. I'm like, all right, time to get on our A game. Let's listen to some of these like amazing entrepreneurial women. What are they doing? And they have such amazing, humbling stories. Like, it's not like we're talking, all of them are like, oh, and then I exited for $400 billion. No. Like, they start at zero, just like the rest of us. They started their dining room tables. And so it's like, I find that like so inspiring. I'm like, heck yeah. Okay, I'm going to be home in 10 minutes and we're going to get jamming on those emails, and we're going to start taking action towards, starting that business and doing whatever it is. But yeah, take action. Take
action and have, get organized, have a list, and be kind to yourself, I think, with somewhat what you just said, right? Like, because we all have setbacks, and often out there, all we hear is about the success story, but before they became success stories, there were a lot of, well, we don't want to call them failures anymore, but they are in the end, or trial and errors, call them what you want. But
oh my gosh, I've had mine.
And you cannot beat yourself up,
No. And another thing, be careful with social media. And this is something that I tell a lot of people, and I have to remind myself about this. And I think this goes for all areas of life. Social media is so fake and it's so misleading and can really set us up for a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think social media can be super duper mega inspiring, and it can also lead us into the whole imposter syndrome very easily, where we're like, gosh,
we can't do this. Like, I can't do this. I'm not as good.
So overwhelmed and so bummed out by what you're saying. All you see, because obviously, and I'm guilty of it too, I only post my successes. What no one sees on my social media is the hashtag fail moments that are all over the place, or where I have had to close out businesses because I effed up and I did not follow a model as I should have, and it resulted in a failed business, okay? Or I did something that set me back 25 steps, and etc. I could write a book on all the failures, but we only post to social media our success reel, so it only looks like we're winning all day long, That's
totally.
All you see are the Ferraris, all you see are the gorgeous girls in bikinis, and everyone on their private Gulfstream jet flying off to St. Bart's for the weekend because they started a business. It's not like that.
No, it doesn't work that way.
We showed more about the hustle and how unattractive it is. 99% of my time, I mean, I've got my little sizzle reel of successes that I publish out there and everyone sees, but 99% of the time I'm sitting on the floor of my office / dressing room, and I'm stressed. I haven't put on makeup. My hair is greasy, and I'm on
the struggle is real.
Dry shampoo. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. But that stuff doesn't make it to my Instagram. And unfortunately, we don't do enough of that. So that's the last thing I want to say is be careful with social media. I think social media can be an awesome inspiration, but it can also really set us up into that whole imposter syndrome, which if you're not extremely resilient and strong, you're going to go, dude, I don't even want to start because I'm seeing where the bar is, and it's way how can I ever get there? No. Start. And put blinders on and just stop looking at the noise. And you do you. And all it is, getting to wherever any of us are or wherever we want to ultimately be in our whole journey, it's just a series of tiny little baby steps, Natasha. That's it. How do you eat an elephant? My mom asked me this. She goes, how do you eat an elephant? I'm like, I don't know. I'm so overwhelmed. And this is about business. And she goes, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Wow. You're so inspiring, Brianna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your experience and for being so open about it and so honest and amazing. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you here very soon. And I wish you all the best. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, sweetie. Take care.